The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of dinosaurs. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking the 20th anniversary of Jurassic Park 3. Welcome and thank you for joining us today on the Salty Nerd Podcast. I am your host, the Salty Nerd, and today we're going to be talking about the 20th anniversary of Jurassic Park 3. And I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds, starting with the Bearded Barbarian. Welcome, Matt Vader. What's up, dude?
It's getting good.
It's getting real good.
Did you trim?
I did not.
Nice.
No, I'm waiting until just right before the convention.
Oh, okay.
Then we're gonna go like full Viking mode. But,
There you go.
An abundance of dinosaurs.
Yep. Just dinosaurs everywhere.
That's the best you could come up with.
I'm off the fly here, man.
How about an abundance of really bad decisions?
Oh, no. And so it begins.
Which is every Jurassic Park movie.
And so it begins. What is it? My favorite line in this movie is some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions. I think that's
really good.
That is this movie in a nutshell. Also joined by Jude. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Ready to talk about some dinosaurs?
Sure.
Okay.
We love dinosaurs.
You guys are so faking it. It's adorable. I'm also joined by Matthew Kadish.
Do you want to tell our audience why we are reviewing a movie that we already reviewed?
Because we didn't do it with video last time.
Oh,
It was
we
audio
talked
only.
about this one already.
Yeah, we did Jurassic June last year, but we didn't have cameras.
Oh, that's right.
I was talking specifically about the concept of Jurassic June.
Oh, I'm going to do this every goddamn year, guys. Jurassic June.
Well, next year we're gonna watch Caveman.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's a whole bunch of dinosaur movies, but they're all like from the 50s.
It's like I want Caveman, and I want like Caveman falling in lava, melting and stuff. And
My second choice was Peter Jackson's King Kong. That had some good dinosaur stuff in
I
it.
want cave girls.
Remember when I introduced you to Tammy and the T-Rex?
Oh God. Yeah.
That's a classic.
I was like, guys, I know we already talked about Jurassic Park, but does anybody have any other ideas? And he's like, Tammy and the T-Rex. And I looked at that and I was horrified.
Hey, Paul Walker and Denise Richards.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
That was everything about that was wrong. Tammy and the T-Rex was, it was so bad. Just the screenshots. I didn't even watch it. I just saw the screenshots.
For those of you who don't know what Tammy and the T-Rex is, it's a movie from the early 90s about a boy whose brain gets put into a robotic dinosaur and he becomes the boyfriend of Denise Richards.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
But this whole thing, so we have June Claude Van Damme, obviously, where every June we celebrate the muscles from Brussels. But in addition to that, June is also the home of Jurassic June.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alex insists that every June we tackle some dinosaur movies. And this particular Jurassic June, we got a little bit busy. So we're doing a one-off for the 20th anniversary of Jurassic Park 3. So that's what we're doing today.
It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for joining us. Real quick, before we dive into it, we're going to take a quick break for some sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you'd like to support the podcast, go to saltynerdclub.com. There you can join our Patreon club. We have access to all kinds of really cool stuff. You get some blooper reels, which are a ton of fun. It's all the stuff that we can't put out there in the real videos, shit talking Vader over there, and all kinds of funny things that we say that we're not allowed to put out there on the interwebs. And we also have some exclusive access to behind the scenes photos, along with some exclusive podcasts that we do specifically for our patrons.
I'm actually remembering to take pictures today.
Yeah.
But we need to come up with something new because
we do need to come up with something new.
I can only take so many pictures of us sitting around the table.
It's just fun stuff.
It's like
you get Discord too.
Look at what Alex did to his hat today. He changed something on his hat.
Mm-hmm.
I put a thing on my hat for Star Trek. All right.
Copycat.
I am copying you. SaltyNerdClub.com, guys. If you like our content and you'd like to support us, go right there and pick a tier. All right, Jude, take it away. What is the synopsis for JP3?
All right, sir. 1991 Jurassic Park 3, rated PG with a runtime of 1 hour, 32 minutes. Had a budget of $93 million. Does anybody remember what it brought in?
I should probably, as a super fan, I should probably
what
know
did it
this.
do,
You don't
Alex?
have to know everything about something in order to love it.
I don't know. I never really bothered with box office.
Also, it's 2001, not 1991, right?
Yeah, 2001.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Well, fuck me.
Good job, Jude. You have one job.
All right. 93 million budget. I'm going to say it made, I don't know, 200 million.
B?
This is the crappiest of the three, right?
Yeah.
So 150.
368
Dang.
worldwide.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Go Stan
Wow,
Winston.
man.
Right on.
I think they were just really charging a lot in theaters at that point.
Well, it was coming off of like a pretty successful run of dinosaur movies, so everyone expected it to be good, right?
I'm terrible at this game.
I don't
I
know
actually
because
think most of the audience thought Steven Spielberg was directing this movie also.
yeah, probably. I don't know what they expected with this one. I don't really remember what the the pre-gaming for this in the press was, but this is the only one that doesn't have a book, doesn't have any source material. The first two had some source material.
So this thing was all on the fly?
This was just on the fly. See, the funny thing
Well, you
about
can kind of tell, right?
I can pull a Kadish on this because I actually know a little bit about this movie. They had a script where it was like 5 families were flying to the Galapagos Islands, and the plane crashed that had all the kids on it. So apparently the kids and the parents flew separately. And so the parents had to go back and rescue the kids. And they had this script all worked out. It was all ready to roll. They had everything done. And then 5 weeks before they started shooting, they completely scrapped the entire script. And they went in completely different direction.
So why did they scrap the script?
I don't-
Script.
Spielberg didn't approve of it. He didn't like it.
Mm.
And they had done like all this like pre-production work. I also think Joe Johnson didn't like it either. But they had done all this like sets and things like that, and it just they were like, nope, we're going to start over. And I remember but Joe Johnson almost quit multiple times because they were literally writing the script as they were shooting the movie, so like they didn't have a script to go off of.
That's always rough.
And what's the one actor's name? William H. Macy.
Oh yeah.
So William H. Macy was like, he was like, this is $100 million movie, and you guys are treating it like a student film. It's like so someone should be fired for this. Like you're literally spending $100 million and making it up as you go.
Yeah. There's background video of him talking like to the other actors,
Really?
like this is a horrible idea. He's like, this is not gonna go well. It was hilarious, man. Yeah, it's kind of a troubled production. This movie didn't go the way I think a lot of people had planned it. I think they were milking the franchise. Like I said, they didn't have a third book to go off of. Honestly, if they really wanted to, there was enough left out from the second movie. There was enough material in the second book to kind of make its own movie.
Well, they actually based a lot of the action scenes from stuff that was cut out of the second movie. But it was kind of funny because at first they brought on Michael Crichton to work on the script with like a group of writers because, like you said, there was no source material to go off of for this one. And Michael Crichton spent about 6 weeks working with these guys, and he was like, "I got nothing, guys."
I mean,
I'm gonna
honestly,
peace out.
this movie for me, it's not a good movie. This is like my least favorite of all of them. It's like just one chase scene after another.
Yeah.
Let's put the humans with the dinosaurs. The dinosaur's going to chase the human. I think we'll eat 2 people in this entire movie.
3.
It was kind of boring as
They've
far as
got,
people
like,
getting eaten.
a bunch of different set pieces. There's like the river scene where they're doing like a Robinson Crusoe scene. And then there's like the bird cage scene where it's like sort of like apocalypse, end of the world. The birds have taken over.
Yeah, that's like
and there's just like all of these different set pieces that they kind of had to just like glue together to get
that's,
them
that's
made.
exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
And 90% of the dialogue in this movie is just Taya Leone shouting, "Eric!"
Oh my god.
God.
She's so cringe in this movie.
So annoying.
She's the worst.
I
I have a whole thing about her in my synopsis.
I couldn't even remember her name when I was watching it for some reason, and I do like her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But I was blanking, so I'm like, oh, it's the chick from Meteor.
She literally had nothing to
Meteor
do.
chick. So
Yeah, she had nothing to do in this movie
Are you
except
guys-
for shout.
Are you guys ready for the synopsis?
Oh my gosh, you haven't done the
We have
synopsis yet? Yeah, go ahead, Jude.
yeah.
Take it away.
All right. Some dumbass takes a kid parasailing in the waters of Isla Sorna. And when they go missing, his dumbass parents dupe Dr. Alan Grant into coming back to the island to help them find their son. The parents bicker nonstop after their plane crashes in the jungle. The mom screams her son's name into a bullhorn repeatedly, and everyone is taken by surprise when it attracts dinosaurs on Dinosaur Island. The boy ends up finding and rescuing Dr. Grant, and they make their way toward the coast to try to find his parents and find help to get off the island. Everyone is making way too much noise and literally running at full speed directly into trouble and deserve to get eaten by dinosaurs.
That's it.
It's very accurate.
That's
Yeah.
I love your breakdowns, Jude.
Best synopsis I think
Some
I've ever done.
dumbass took a kid
That's a
parasailing.
piece of work.
Ben Hildebrand.
I'm gonna bring this bullhorn to Dinosaur Island.
Yeah.
Salty, where are you, Salty?
Yeah. Like, have
Salty!
you done any research about Dinosaur Island? First of all, before you took your kid parasailing on it, did you think maybe that's a bad idea? And then when he gets lost on Dinosaur Island, did you think, hey, stealing a bunch of people
kidnapping
and
a
bringing them to
freaking
this
paleontologist?
island? Bullhorn, gotta pack that.
It's a bad idea.
What's a bad idea?
This movie's so stupid.
So dumb.
I also like how worthless the mercenaries they hired were.
Oh my God. Well, they even commented on that too. They're like, are you actually like a badass military mercenary? He's like, no, I'm just like a booking agent. One of the guys called out sick, so I had to cover for him.
Well, the one of the worst parts about this is that, like, so William H. Macy pretends to be like this rich guy
Yeah.
in order to dupe Dr. Grant.
Well, he puts on a blazer, so obvious.
Oh, well, that's it,
but
yes.
he writes him a check, and so it's implied that Grant didn't bother to cash the check to see if it would clear before he agreed to go on this thing.
Well, even before
$100
that,
million.
he's on that stage in the college, and he's like, no force on heaven or earth could ever get me on that island. And this dude just throws him like 20 grand. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right.
Except a thinly veiled lie.
Yeah.
Let me, isn't this, so the guy that plays Professor Grant, what's his name?
Sam Neill.
So isn't there a thing with these movies about Sam Neill not wanting to come back to these?
No force on heaven
And-
or
no,
earth could have
and-
gotten him back into another Jurassic movie. They told him
Right.
it was something else.
It's like, so if he didn't want to make more of these movies, why did he make this one?
I don't know, dude. Why is Harrison Ford in Star Wars?
Because he wanted Han Solo to die. And he had to be there for Han
You
Solo
back
to
up
die.
enough
It was
money.
all for a paycheck.
Yeah, you back
Yeah.
up enough money to an actor's front door, and they're gonna be like, yeah, all right.
But I just thought this guy didn't even like these movies.
I never got that impression.
But
I mean, he probably doesn't like this one, but
They didn't ask him back for the second one, but they didn't ask
but he's coming back for the new one coming out later this
yeah,
year.
well,
right?
they're getting the whole original crew.
yeah,
they're
they
getting-
didn't ask Jeff Goldblum to come back for this one. I think Jeff Goldblum might have come back if they'd wanted him.
Well, the second book had Malcolm was the main character. That's why
Yeah.
he is in the second movie.
Right.
Grant was nowhere to be
That's
seen.
not a great movie either, but it's more
Well,
fun than this one.
in the second one, both him and Ellie Statler, is that her name?
Sattler.
Sattler. So they weren't in the second movie. So like they brought them for this one.
Mhm.
But like we
Well,
said,
she made like a cameo.
Yeah,
in
she's
the
barely
front
in
of
this.
it.
well, without her,
She
they wouldn't have
saves
been
the
saved.
day.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they need a woman to
that's
save
true,
the
huh?
day.
The whole
Now, come on.
the ending. The ending of this movie was ridiculous.
Ellie Sattler is the real hero of Jurassic Park 3.
Like
Not
the
wrong.
soldiers show up. It's like,
It's so stupid.
Rexy don't give a shit about no soldiers. Come on, man.
Rexy's dead.
She talked to her husband, who's like a big wig, like
In the military or
like,
something.
military guy
Yeah.
who gets the Coast Guard
Wait.
to go save
Okay,
him.
so hold on.
Go ahead.
This is a question for Salty.
Yeah.
Explain Rexy to me. Is she in these movies? Is she not in these movies?
No.
Is she in the other
Okay,
movies?
so she's in the first movie.
Does
Only.
she has a scar or something on her eye?
Yes.
Or what?
Okay.
I don't know how you Jurassic nerds differentiate your T-Rexes.
Oh, I got you. All right. So in the first movie, right, that's Rexy. Roberta is what they nicknamed her.
the
on
one
the
who's
set.
chasing the Jeep.
The one that's chasing the
Oh,
Jeep.
okay.
She is only in the first movie.
Okay.
Okay. The second movie.
But I always hear you guys talking about continuity with the
Okay, so at
T-Rexes.
the end of the first movie, remember when the raptors jump on her and like scratch her up,
Mhm.
and then she has that triumphant freaking the famous
Right,
scene,
rawr.
rawr, and then
Yeah,
the
yeah.
flag comes down and says dinosaurs ruled the earth. That's Rexy, and that's where she got that scar from. The second movie took place on a different island. Those were not
Right.
those were not the same T-Rexes.
Is that this island?
This is the second island as well. So
Okay.
there's Isla Nublar where the first park was built.
Uh-huh.
That's where the first movie and the fourth movie take place.
Okay.
The second island is Isla Sorna. That's where Jurassic.
All the science goes on.
Yeah, that's the site B, and that's all. This is all book stuff, and they brought it into the movies. So these T-Rexes in these movies are completely different. These are not the same.
So
T-Rex.
Rexy's on the first island.
Rexy's still on the first island.
And what was the
And-
what was the one that came to San Diego and had lunch?
That was the one from Sorna, which is a different T-Rex.
That's the one in this movie?
No,
No.
that's the second movie.
And I'm confused.
We don't know what dinosaur this is in this third movie because it's green. It's a different T-Rex. The other
So-
T-Rexes were like a brown stripe.
So dino nerds don't like this one.
Dino nerds, I think people really pissed that they had the Spinosaurus kill the T-Rex in this movie because they were like, how dare you, sir? And, you know, the director and everybody's like, we have to show that our dinosaur's the baddest man in town. And they were like, screw you, dick.
Now, wasn't Rexy in Jurassic World?
She was in Jurassic World, yep. She had that great comeback. One of my favorite scenes in the entire franchise is when Bryce Dallas Howard is holding the flare.
I'll stand for Rexy.
Rexy's amazing.
Yeah, I like Rexy.
Roberta. Her name is... Yeah, Stan Winston named the animatronic Roberta. So that's kind of like her.
So that's her name?
That's her
It's
name.
not Rexy?
Well, we call her Rexy as like a nickname, but her name is Roberta.
I just want to get it straight.
I'm nerdy about this,
I want to get it in my head. I want to be correct.
I got you. Her official name is Roberta.
Because being friends with you, I interact by proxy with a lot of Jurassic nerds. And it's weird, okay? They're not Star Trek nerds. They're not Star Wars
I know
nerds.
far too much about this franchise.
And I think there's one scene that we like really dissected when we talked about it last year where like they flipped a negative or something and Rexy's scar was on the wrong side and we were like what is going on here? And then we decided that they probably like flipped the negative.
Oh, I think that was Jurassic World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean in the
Oh,
original.
okay, yeah.
I meant like in the Bryce Dallas
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
Howard.
sure if you dissect those movies, there's probably a little bit of continuity error.
Yeah.
But that is Roberta in Jurassic Park, the original.
And none of the raptors in this one are in the other movies either, right?
No, these are new raptors. These are
just
completely different.
Dickhead raptors.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are crazy. But I have to say though, I think Stan Winston's studio at this point they had like nailed down
I thought the raptors were cool.
the creation of the animatronics was freaking on point. I love these raptors. They're beautiful.
I did get a kick out of, you know, at the end. I guess
we're jumping all over the place. Yeah.
When he had the the 3D printed voice
Oh
box.
yeah, the flute, the magical flute.
And they're all, you know, and then he gets on there and goes, it's like, and they're like, what?
He Pied Pipers. the
What is
raptor.
this? It's like so they just pick up the eggs
They
and
bounce.
bail. It's like, okay, you're cool. It's like,
Like they literally like on the day that they would show up to shoot a scene, they'd be like, "What are we shooting today?" It's like, "Oh, let's do this."
Yeah.
So like this whole movie, like stuff
It's-
like that
yeah,
feels
it's
like
wild.
just made up.
it's like, oh, we're gonna 3D print this voice box from this bone
Yeah,
that has like
it's ridiculous.
it's like there would be like tendrils and tendons and some mucus and shit in there to make it
Nah,
right.
man,
you
it's
know?
a whistle.
Yeah,
It's like
it's a bone whistle.
you gotta put some esophagus stuff in there. I don't
It's
know.
goofy,
I don't
dude.
know how voice
That's,
boxes
No, it's
work,
that's
dude,
how
but-
the cavemen hunted dinosaurs.
With the magical
Yeah.
flute.
They got a bone whistle.
Yeah.
That's how I got Kadish. I just had my bone whistle. He was like, "Oh, did somebody call?"
Okay, it's just a dinosaur.
made out of 3D printer
I can
plastic.
hear frequencies of sound that
Oh, okay.
normal humans can't.
No, this movie. There's something about this movie that everybody always teases it about. It's a stupid dream sequence on the airplane.
yeah.
Everybody
Oh,
makes fun of this
that's
scene.
great.
The talking
The
velociraptor.
talking velociraptor. But there was something I noticed on. This is the first time I've noticed this when I watched it last night. There's a scene earlier on where Dr. Grant is talking to the parrot in the cage, and he's holding a cracker, and he says, "My name is Alan. Can you say Alan? Alan?" And he's talking to the bird, and everybody knows like dinosaurs turned into birds. It's like the whole Jurassic Park thing is like Alan Grant's theory about dinosaurs is they evolved into birds. So when he was talking to the parrot and he's like, "Can you say my name, Alan? Alan?" And then he goes and has that dream about the raptor looking at him going, "Alan." And I was like, "Oh, that was great. That's setup and payoff." I was goofing around.
I did like the one. I did like the one part of this movie where they're trying to escape off the island right after they first get there, and Leone is up there with her bullhorn,
Oh yeah,
and they jump in the plane, and the guy that got stranded earlier jumps out in front of him, and he's all
Cooper.
like, "Please stop, please stop!" And then the dino just comes out,
Spinosaurus.
just, rah,
Yeah,
and
just-
then they like clip it with the plane, and blood goes
yeah.
all over the front of the plane.
Dude, this movie.
Oh god, that was gnarly.
This
man.
movie shifts into gear really fast. Like this is the one thing I can tell that Steven Spielberg didn't make this movie because with the first one and the second one, there's like a long, good, more than half the movie where you don't see any dinosaurs, and
Yeah.
it builds that tension.
Then
That's
it
the-
like with the brontosaurus, whatever. That was awesome. That was an awesome payoff.
Oh yeah. In the first
Yeah.
movie, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you can tell in this movie, they just didn't even bother, dude. They were like, "Hey guys, dinosaurs!" Blah! I mean, they just threw it at you.
Personally, I mean, I'm not the dino guy you are,
Yeah.
but I do remember going to watch the first Jurassic Park, and that first scene where they come up on the jeeps
Mm-hmm.
and he like falls
Welcome
down.
to Jurassic Park.
And they're
Yeah.
like, dun, 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 dun. And
Yeah.
you see these dinosaurs like eating off the top of the trees and stuff. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's a real goddamn dinosaur.
It still holds up,
Oh,
which
it
is
still
amazing.
holds up. It's really great.
Because
Yeah.
when I was watching this, and they have like a similar quote unquote scene in this movie
Doesn't work.
where they're on the boat and they're like talking
Yeah.
to the kid and they look at the dinosaurs. Those dinosaurs look terrible.
Yeah. At this point, we're all like, hey, look,
I'm like-
another fake dinosaur.
Yeah, but it looked
Yeah.
less real than the first movie.
Yeah, but by this time we'd been exposed to like
You think that's
all-
what it's oversaturation?
all the Science Channel CGI dinosaur documentaries and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, it's like
I guess.
Walking with Dinosaurs. You know, so, yeah, it's like I mean I like those shows,
We're
but
desensitized.
they desensitize this to this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
So,
sure.
sure.
like, the humans have always been the weak link in all these Jurassic Park movies, but the humans in this one
are especially stupid.
were really
Oh, yeah.
painful to care about.
It's funny, you can kind of tell just how inept the mercenaries are just from the first
The
introduction. when they're
mercenary,
mercenaries, I guess.
that little
There's four of them.
that little goofball from that Burt Reynolds sitcom. what was that show called?
A Burt Reynolds movie?
Yeah, well, you know the guy with the gun that gets tortured.
Cooper?
That gets tortured by the raptors.
Oh yeah.
He was in a sitcom with Burt Reynolds.
Oh,
I
okay.
also found it weird
Is
that,
something
that
shade or
they
something?
killed him by breaking his neck as opposed to like eating him.
Why don't they just like bite his head off? You know, do some dinosaur.
Well, they
shit.
stabbed him with their claw in his spine
but
first.
they like twisted his neck
Yeah.
with their jaws and,
Yeah, they didn't want-
and left his body behind.
he's
I
too
thought
he's
that
too
was
fatty.
I thought that was really weird.
It was very weird.
It's like we're gonna
they're-
torture this dude. It's like snipers, like in World War II movies, that like clip somebody in the leg so they can't move. It's like, come get him, motherfucker.
and if Taya Leone's
Yeah.
character hadn't been such a klutz and like
Oh, yeah.
fallen, like she'd have fallen right for the raptor's trap.
Yeah. Well,
that,
that's
that
the
was a straight up cartoon moment.
the thing
Yeah.
about this movie is that they really wanted to like nail home the idea that these raptors were like ultra smart.
Oh,
And I
get
think
that.
they jumped the shark a little bit with that.
Yeah.
I have a 7-year-old, and he's a kid and likes bad, shitty entertainment.
Okay.
As
He made it
as
through.
he should.
He made it through about 10 minutes of this before he declared, "This is a terrible movie, right?"
Good for him.
And I went, "Spot on, buddy." He was like, "Why are you watching this?" I was like, "I have to for work."
Stop is making me.
You know what's
He-
funny?
and he was like, "I'm going upstairs," and he like stomped the whole way upstairs.
He was
because,
mad.
Yeah, and I was like so proud of him because I was like, "That's how I get when I'm watching something and I'm mad that I have to watch it." He made it through 10 minutes, and he was like pissed off that I had wasted his time with this.
Oh no.
That's exactly how I get when I watch movies like Chopping Mall.
Yeah.
You need to leave Chopping Mall alone.
It's like I'm like, fuck, Jude's gonna make me watch this goddamn movie.
Why?
No.
Why do you pick on my movie all the time? You didn't even get through Bad
But you know, you want to know why? Because you won't pawn far with me. That's why.
No, you know what's funny is my kids kind of did the same thing. They were sitting down. I was like, guys, let's watch Jurassic Park together. And I sat down with my two
You
kids,
tried
and
to trick him.
they were watching this movie, and then like,
Alan granted them.
and then, yeah, and then halfway, no, Paul Kirby, they were like halfway through, they were like, we're gonna go sit with mom and watch another movie or a
Yeah,
different show, and I'm
yeah.
like,
We'd rather
okay.
just watch the baby
I'm
sleep.
gonna go off on a tangent here for a second.
Do
Okay.
it.
At least when I watch your shitty movies,
Okay.
I finish them.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of thank you at the end because they're usually not as bad as they were. I'm just like going through my head. It's like these movies are awful, but they're kind of awful good.
Yeah.
With his thing,
Uh-huh.
I just turned it off. I said, "This is nonsense. I'm not watching this crap movie."
You know, that's why I won't pawn far with you, because I subjected myself to that torture.
No.
I got physically ill to the point where
choice.
Kadish was like, "Hey, you okay?"
That was a bad choice on
And
your
you
part.
abandoned me.
Hey, Bad Taste is a great movie.
No, it's
I don't
not.
know what you guys
It
are
is not.
complaining
Stop.
about.
Stop.
Peter Jackson at his most raw.
Ugh.
You know what? I hope that we incite the Peter Jackson fans right now.
That movie
because
sucks.
come for me. I will talk to you.
The
Like, well,
entire continent of New Zealand.
I was just gonna say,
Come
New
after you.
Zealand's. We're huge in New Zealand.
Apparently,
We're huge. We're like number 14 on their podcast. Or
Are
something.
we
Yeah.
still?
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
It's like, oh wait, we still release audio
We left
stuff,
the
right?
Yeah, we
Kiwis
do.
behind. We hit it big, and then we thought,
Eh,
fuck 'em.
whatever.
Anyway, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, sorry, I had to go up on that little.
No,
tangent
it's
there.
fine. It's fine. This movie's hard to talk about. The one thing, okay, so I
It
will say
really
this.
isn't. It's kind of fun to talk
It's
about.
it's just a goofy movie,
a
man.
goofy
It's
movie.
so weird. But the one thing I will say that like really works against this movie, which I think again goes to Spielberg's sensibility as a director, is they like 90% of this was shot on a set that they built a fake jungle on.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And I think that's why it just doesn't look quite right. Like when you see the dinosaurs in broad daylight, it's a little bit too obvious that they're animatronic. Whereas in Spielberg's version, everything's dark and it's rainy, and you can hide the animatronics behind the cloak of night, and you can kind of like mesh it with the CGI a little bit better. This one, everything takes place in broad daylight, and it takes that thrill out of it.
Let me ask this question.
Yeah,
So
go
I
ahead.
want to talk about this Spinosaurus for a second.
Yep.
So Jurassic Park, they fill in DNA gaps
Yeah.
with frog DNA.
And other DNA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So was the Spinosaurus like a T-Rex mixed with a crocodile or
No,
something? Because
no.
that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this thing. I'm not sure what the story is behind the Spinosaurus, you know. So
you want to get real
My
nerdy?
God,
Give me-
I've
give me-
never seen such excitement bubble up out of
give,
me.
me, give me 90 seconds on the Spinosaurus.
90
man.
seconds. All right. So the fossil record, it has a lot of gaps with the Spinosaurus. As of the making of this movie in 2001, they assumed that the Spinosaurus looked more or less like a T-Rex with the big spine, a little bit bigger with the snout, because it was mostly something that ate fish. They knew for a long time that it was something that kind of was around water. It was more of a water dinosaur, aquatic, amphibious, I guess you could say. And they went with that with this movie. All the paleontologists were like, yeah, that's more or less accurate to what we know of the Spinosaurus. Then information came out much, much later where they found new fossils for the Spinosaurus, and they learned that the hips were like super short, so it was more lower to the ground. It had more of like an elongated forearms, and it had a tail that had a fin on it.
This is a real thing?
This is a real dinosaur.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's a real dinosaur, but they weren't quite sure what type of dinosaur it was. The most recent information, like 2020 information on the Spinosaurus, it was like a really big alligator. So it's not.
That's what I get.
So
from
this
it,
movie
yeah.
is no longer accurate as far as the fossil record is concerned. But
okay.
the caveat for that is that all the Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World movies state up front that these are genetically modified dinosaurs. So you can kind of get away with the mixing of two different dinosaurs, or maybe it's not completely accurate to what science says it looked like, but it's okay because they mixed up the DNA and it came out
I always
different.
thought it was weird in the original Jurassic Park where they said they just filled in gaps with frog DNA.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that just make them a bunch of frogs?
No, because the
You know.
majority of the DNA would be the dinosaur, and then they would just be certain sequences.
But that would
be
like
frog
make their
DNA.
like maybe like their skin would be different or
Yeah,
something.
something like
or-
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with the feathers, like, you know, the more information we're getting about dinosaurs these days is that they have feathers, or they think the majority
Well,
of them have feathers.
they're giant chickens.
Yeah, they're giant chickens. All the dinosaurs in the movies are all featherless, and they kind of just like lean on it's genetically modified. That's why.
Man, I love that meme that's out there with the chicken with the arms.
Oh yeah,
It's so weird. It looks so weird to me. It's just like, but it looks like kind of like a dinosaur.
that's what dinosaurs
So
are.
it's like I was always fascinated looking at chicken legs
Mhm.
back on the farm because they're scaly and they got those claws.
Yeah.
And it's like, I never thought about dinosaurs back then, but I always thought it was interesting how birds have those really strange
Yeah.
kind of scaly iguana lizard-like.
Well, there's
claws and
this
skin and
freaking,
stuff.
I
It's
can't remember
awesome.
the name of the bird, but it's like a freaking 6 foot tall bird. With
It's like a
giant,
condor?
It's giant, dude. And it like walks around. It's got these evil looking eyes. It's freaking cool.
It's like an emu or something.
Yeah, it's super weird, but yeah,
like
I mean,
like on the commercials on TV.
I kind of subscribe to the idea
Emu. Yeah,
that they turned into birds. I'm in on that.
You know, the dumbest part of this movie for me was so when the kid and Alan Grant finally find the rest of the team and they're separated by that wall and that net,
Yeah.
and the Spinosaurus, is that what it's called?
Spinosaurus.
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 Spinosaurus aegypticus.
Spinal bifidosaurus. Yeah.
So when the big dinosaur shows up,
Yeah.
they have this wall that is supposed to be able to what do you call it? Like, I don't know, contain
Yeah.
dinosaurs like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the one with the convenient human-sized hole in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
and basically they Alan Grant and the kid scurry through this like hole in the net in the mesh that's like part of the wall, and the Spindlesaurus.
Oh my God. Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
The Spindlesaurus.
Spindlesaurus. He can't get to them. So they think that they're safe on the other side. And all of a sudden the dinosaur crashes through the
Yeah.
wall that
Yeah.
was
It's just-
specifically built to
It's just like,
keep it there.
Fuck
And-
this fence.
And then, it basically rams through this wall, and then the group all runs into a building and closes a door and locks the door.
And the door holds it.
And the huge dinosaur that just broke through this concrete wall can't get through the door because too many locks.
Yep. Awesome. God, I love this movie.
It's that's fun.
No,
So
you guys.
so is this movie like? Is it like called classic-y, or is it just not a good movie for Jurassic
It's just
fans?
not a great movie.
It's not like so good as bad or so bad as good kind of thing.
don't know.
I don't get that vibe.
Because
off of it.
I'm in like the JP Shill group.
Yeah.
Like we don't really hate on this movie all
This
that
is-
much.
is this
We
the
kind of
Return of the Jedi?
what we do is we kind of like cherry pick the elements that we do like. So like the aviary, that was in the first book. So we're like, oh, they're calling back to the first book. That's
I
super
like
cool.
the aviary.
The aviary is cool. It's got great animatronics. The dinosaurs are super creepy. It's got that like that thriller feel from the first movie. We like the Raptors, the animatronics from the Raptors. We love that kind of stuff with the Stan Winston studio just doing their magic. It's fun, a lot of fun. But that's what we do with movies that we don't like in the JP franchise. We kind of just cherry pick the stuff that we do like.
I like
Right on.
that they use this kind of storytelling convention of the dinosaur swallowed the satellite phone. And whenever the satellite phone rang, because that's something straight out of Peter Pan, with the,
Yeah.
It's very
the clock and the
very
crocodile.
cartoony.
Yeah.
But it's so unrealistic.
Oh my god!
That digestive system is a wonder.
Yeah.
And then he poops it out, and then they
Yeah,
find
and
the phone later on.
They get to like dig through poop.
Yeah.
That's funny. Digging through poop is funny, guys.
Yeah, they use like 250 tons of oatmeal for that poop.
Ugh,
Did
God,
they really?
yeah.
Oh,
I would rather dig through poop. That sounds
You
disgusting.
don't like oatmeal?
But oatmeal?
I like oatmeal, but I don't. Listen, man. I've dealt with a lot of animal poop in my day. I cleaned a lot of stalls when I was a kid. It ain't that big a deal, man.
That is
it's
one
just-
big pile of shit.
But a big old pile of gross ass cooked oatmeal. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds awful.
You think you would gag? I wonder if
I
the
don't
actors
know.
gagged. That'd be funny to see
I
like some
feel
behind the scenes stuff.
the exact opposite of you. I think that sounds very relaxing.
Digging through oatmeal.
I would lay down and make oatmeal angels.
Just
That
smother
sounds
herself
like
in
it would
Wait,
feel
so-
nice on my skin.
Don't they do like oatmeal baths or something in the
Yeah.
spa world?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like crazy.
I don't know.
It just sounds nasty.
Oh, you're definitely crazy.
I mean, I'm down with the like just take a mud bath kind of thing.
Hmm.
I'd have to have a big tub, but that would be interesting.
All right, let's do some final thoughts for JP3. Vader, what do you got for us, buddy?
I don't know.
What would you give this movie for a rating?
It's my least favorite of all the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah.
I don't want to go against myself from when we did this earlier. I don't remember what my old grade was.
Oh, I don't remember either.
So
I don't even remember what my grading
I'm
was.
probably going to give it 2 stars, maybe.
Sounds
It's just-
about right.
It's if you've never seen it, watch it. It's cool. But I'm kind of with you. I've watched a lot of these Jurassic movies, and it's definitely not. It's the worst one.
Okay.
It's
Out of all five, you think?
out of all the ones that are out, it's definitely the worst one.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 stars.
All
Yeah.
right. Jude, you're on the same page?
I concur.
Yeah.
I think the last time we watched these, I said that I never needed to watch this again. So I'm a little upset that I had to watch it again.
This time she actually means it.
It's not one of those movies that makes me angry that I wasted my time on it or gives me a physical reaction.
Yeah.
However, for me, it's a 1-star crap fest.
Okay. 1 star.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Harsh. Kadish, how about you, bud?
Kind of with Jude on this one.
Oh man.
So thankfully, this is the shortest of all the Jurassic movies. So having to rewatch it, it didn't take too long. But it's also the dumbest, and that's
Yeah.
saying a lot because the Jurassic movies get pretty dumb. But like, I didn't find any of the characters even remotely likable in this movie. I felt like the overall plot scenario wasn't very good. It was just like overall, like you could tell this was like a
Poorly
pieced
planned.
together, poorly planned
Yeah.
cash grab. And yeah, it's my least favorite of the Jurassic movies, and that's saying a lot because Fallen Kingdom was not one of my favorites.
Everybody hates on Fallen Kingdom so
Oh,
much.
it's just story wise, it's such a mess.
Is that the one where they have the auction in the castle?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's not a good movie.
Oh, wow.
So
All right.
It's all right.
I would give this like, I don't know, 2 out of 5 oatmeal poop piles.
Okay. This is my least favorite of the original trilogy, and I think it might be overall my least favorite. There's a few things I can cherry pick that I really like. The Raptors is one of them, but there's not much. I mean, this movie is a mess, and like I said, it was a very troubled production. So, like it's very obvious that they were just kind of flying by the seat of their pants with the script, because it was just like you said, it's one set piece after another.
Yeah.
The characters don't actually have any agency. They're just running away from everything, and that's all this movie has to offer.
The only person in this movie that I would have cared that didn't die was Grant.
Grant,
He's the only one that had to live. for me.
everybody else could have died. I would have been all right with
Yeah.
it. And you know what?
Some of them should have.
And that's a good point, is that the one character that was like a meaningful character that wasn't just cannon fodder, that was supposed to die, and then they, at the very end of the movie, they bring him back and he's alive and he's on a helicopter.
I mean, he kind of started the whole thing by stealing those stupid eggs.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, how stupid do you have to be? And plus, like, I really wanted Taya Leone's character to die.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
That would have like launched this movie. Probably like top 2.
Oh, but then people would have been like, she didn't deserve it.
Oh, she totally deserved it.
She
Everyone who
for
watched
sure
this
deserved
movie
it.
was like, that girl deserves to die.
She was a dumb
She
bee.
started this
Okay.
whole thing by bringing her dickhead boyfriend to this island where
Ben
her kid
Hildebrand.
gets kidnapped. And then she, like, in the middle of it is talking about, like, what a piece of shit she is because she's totaled 3 cars in 3 years. Like, you're a worthless fucking person, lady. You should stay on the
Oh, God.
island
Yeah.
while everybody else gets away.
Yeah,
go back-
who lets her new boy toy run off with her kid to a dinosaur island?
Right.
I was like, I just don't think I like her.
In this movie?
I don't know.
'Cause
It's
I like her in
it's
other
when-
movies.
When she died in Meteor, I was like, yes.
Oh, you mean Deep Impact?
Or Deep, yeah, with Deep Impact. Whatever.
I can't remember the name where the
With
meteor strikes the
Elijah,
earth.
with Elijah Wood?
I think it was this Meteor. Yeah,
It's
the one with
Deep
Elijah
Impact? Yeah,
Wood.
it's
No,
Deep
that-
Impact.
I
Deep
feel like
Impact.
her death was meaningful in that movie.
Yeah. No,
It's like, I just want to, on this one, I was like, go to your beach with your stupid dad. and
Yeah,
die.
this movie makes me want to watch like 90 minutes of just Tay Leone dying in other movies.
That's it. Taylor, the only snuff film. All right. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Does she
Yeah.
die in any other movies?
I'd have
Let's
to- I
find
don't
out.
know.
Or do we just have to watch? Do we have to watch the wave
Can
killer
we do a week
over and over?
where it's just like Tay Leone dies in this movie and that's everything that we talk about?
We'll do a super cut on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's fine. All the movies Taylor only dies in.
It's
Oh
probably
my
just
God.
one.
Yeah, I think it's just Deep Impact.
Just Deep
Because
Impact?
she normally does like dramas. She's not really into the action movie stuff, I don't think. My favorite movie that she's in is Family Man with Nicolas Cage.
I do like
That's
that
a
movie.
great movie.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
think
know
it's
what though?
because of Nicolas Cage though.
Maybe. I think you guys are right though. Like if she died, or even if Paul Kirby
I would
died,
have yelled. I would have. Yes.
I think that would have elevated this movie a little bit.
Well, they thought Paul Kirby died at one moment.
Yeah.
And then she takes that moment to become even more annoying. She's like, you can't leave me like this. Listen, you hate him, remember? Just because he's dead and now all of a sudden he's alive
She
again.
left him for another man.
Yeah.
You know, and what's funny is like they kind of tried to bring Steven Spielberg's thematic, like broken family stuff, because a lot of Spielberg's movies revolve around
Yeah.
a broken family eventually like coming together and healing. It's just
Sometimes things should just stay broken and then you just throw it in the trash.
well, I mean, like they couldn't have killed off the parents because like they needed to have that family come. That's Spielberg's thing. Like,
Oh, okay.
like he would have vetoed anything else. But I just wish they would have made Taya Leone a little bit more competent in this situation, as opposed like everything she does in this movie should have gotten her killed.
Yes.
Is that why I don't like her in this movie? Because she's
Repeatedly.
dumb.
She is
'Cause
literally.
she usually plays kind of smarter characters.
She is the
right?
antithesis. Is that the right word? Antithesis
you
of
got
a
it. You
dumb
nailed it.
blonde
in this movie.
in this movie. Yeah.
But I mean, that's one of the side effects of not having a finished script is like
Yeah.
you're like, oh well, just have her do this, and like you're not thinking about the bigger picture. And then like when you watch the finished movie, it's just like she just does one dumb
because
thing after
William,
another.
William H. Macy, he's a good actor too.
Oh, he's a great actor.
and he's usually
yeah.
in a really smart movies, you know. And it's just, I don't know. This I feel like this movie is just
I know.
beat both of them.
Wasn't
you know?
wasn't William H Macy in Enter the Dragon?
Was he?
The one-
yeah, he was the assistant.
yeah,
Not Enter the Dragon, The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
That's a
Don't
completely different
misinterpret
movie.
by what I mean when I say smart movies. I feel like he's better than this movie. That's
he's
really all
he's
I
a
really
well
mean.
respected actor.
Yeah.
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 And so is Sam Neill, for that
Yeah.
matter. I mean, there's a lot of good actors in this movie, but it's just, again, it all comes back to the script.
You can only be as good of an actor as you have
As
have
the
to
script,
work
yeah,
with.
as the script is allowing you to be. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, I love it because I'm a super shill for these JP movies. It has a special place in my heart, but it's definitely not one that I revisit often. It's not like on my watch list every year or something like that. Like, that's the first one. The newer ones are pretty good. They're a lot of fun, but I mean,
The Hemsworth ones.
Hemsworth. You mean the Chris Pratt ones?
Chris Pratt ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
I like Chris Pratt. He's really good.
Chris Pratt is the Hemsworth of these movies.
I think that Tito's getting to Vader.
I haven't even
the
got
Meteor movie.
I haven't even started yet, dude. I've had like 2 shots.
Chris Hemsworth movies.
I
with
wish
meteors in
we
them.
would end this so I could go refill.
But I think that's what we're going to do. That's a perfect segue. All right, guys, that's it for our discussion of the 20th anniversary of JP3. Promise you, I won't make you guys watch this movie again. All right. Before we get out of here, Vader, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at MattVader74 on the Twitter and Instagram. I gotta remember to start Instagramming more. And YouTube, and also on the Salty Nerd YouTube channel. I think I'm going to start playing some games over there once in a while.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff. So,
Right on.
Yep.
And Jude?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Right on. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter, and kadishbooks.com takes you to my Amazon page.
And I am Alex, the Dinosaur Man. You can catch me on Twitter at salty_nerd. And as always, stay salty, my friends.